Talk a little politics here. The VP stakes, as they are often called, they're heating up. One potential running mate bowing out of the competition. This as former President Donald Trump continues to be non-committal about a debate with Vice President Kamala Harris. A lot going on here. Good day's Robert Moses joins us now to straighten it all out. Good morning, Robert.
Dan, good morning to you. The former president says he will probably debate the vice president, but he says he can also make a case for not debating her. She has already said, "I'm ready, let's go." One of her potential running mates, though, says he is not ready to join the ticket.
North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper took himself out of the running to be Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate. In a statement posted on X last night, Cooper said this just wasn't the right time for North Carolina and for me to potentially be on a national ticket. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, however, is still very much in the VP stakes. He, along with another contender, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who recently said she made a commitment to serve out her term, which runs through 2026, rallied for the vice president outside Philadelphia.
Let's wake up in November and say the words, Madam President.
She is ready to not just be the standard bearer of our party, but to be the 47th President of the United States of America.
Former President Donald Trump begs to differ. Polls show him and Vice President Harris locked in a tight race. In a Fox News interview that aired last night, the former president hedged when asked if he will debate her.
I want to do a debate, but I also can say this. Everybody knows who I am. And now people know who she is. I'll probably end up debating. But I can also make a case for not doing it.
Former President Trump's number 2, J.D. Vance, told donors privately in Minnesota on Saturday that President Joe Biden's departure from the race amounted to a, quote, political sucker punch, according to the Washington Post. The bad news is that Kamala Harris does not have the same baggage as Joe Biden because whatever we might have to say, Kamala is a lot younger, Vance said. And Kamala Harris is obviously not struggling in the same ways that Joe Biden did. That private assessment from Vance contrasts with what the former president says publicly.
I think she's a worse candidate than him. I would rather run against her than him. I think she's easier than he is.
The former president says that his interview with the FBI, which is part of the investigation into the attempted assassination earlier this month, will take place on Thursday. The agency has interviewed more than 450 people about what happened that day in Butler, Pennsylvania, though the agency still has not released a motive. Dan?
That's still a very important question. All right. Thank you very much, Robert.